Blog Talk Radio.
Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thuggin' like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dog Pound Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Black.
Yo, check this out. This is your girl, Cola Vogue, and I'm chilling with my boys right here on Off the Cuff Radio. Cause we off the cuff right now. You dig?
Bet. What's up? It's your boy Lil Yap from UNLV, bragging up from the river, cooling with my homies and my family at Off the Cuff Radio. Y'all be sure to tune in on Fridays and get the latest scoop and find out what's happening. You heard me?
Tiffany Lavon.
And it's Queen Queasy, your girl's favorite bartender.
And we're from
Sex on the Rocks podcast.
Alright, you're now tuning in to Off the Cuff Radio.
Yeah, because they keep representing that world hip-hop. Yo, much love.
Alright. Y'all, this is Princess Daisy giving a shout out to King Eric and Off the Cuff Radio. Keep doing your thing, puppy.
Hey y'all, this is Stacey Lachey giving a shout out to King Eric and Off the Cuff Radio.
What's shaking, y'all? This is the Grand, 1/2 of Lost Cause and 1/3 of that Drive Time thing. Sending my love to the homies over at Off the Cuff Radio. Tune in every Friday night for some real deal hip-hop conversation. These dudes are the connoisseurs of this thing. You already know what it is. BX Stand Up, HUD City, we're shaking. Peace.
Yo, this is Dope Fresh to Dine, and y'all tuned in to the most raw, uncut show on radio, the Guillotine Team, Off the Cuff, and yo, Eric, Sandman, off of these clowns' heads.
Walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that, 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 walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that, what? Walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that, 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 walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that. Just in case you didn't know, I'm supposed to name. I wrote the song from the movie, but it's not a game, not a game. The remix will set the record straight. This dedicated to you tricks who underestimate. You got the plastic toys, we got the plastic toys. You wanna get them up, you ain't said nothing, boy. I don't start shit, but I'll finish it. Whether I win or lose, I'ma finish it. It's do or die, life or death, you or me, you or me. You can talk your ass off, make a move and see the other side, Jekyll and Hyde. It's murk time, if you see water in my eyes, don't get it twisted, pump your nuts, think I'm ditching up. The anger on my shoulder low, I don't give a fuck. Born and raised in Tennessee, Memphis, sucker. You catch me slipping once, it won't happen again, sucker. Walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that, 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 walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that. Mug 'em, drug 'em, dust 'em, buck 'em, fuck 'em, I don't love 'em. Hang 'em, bang 'em, bump 'em, stomp 'em, dump 'em, I don't trust 'em. Shut your motherfucking mouth, nigga, you ain't shit. It's Al Kapone tribute, back up on this remix. Still packing that 44, kicking down your front door. Spit with no fat meat, never play me like a hoe. Just like that, I get on your ass. It's the brick and real fast. Everything I learned, I forgot my anger management class. What's up with that beef and shit? I thought that you was hard, now I see you downtown. Make a statement, prison charge, back up on the fucking brick, yeah. I I done made fun, looking for your ass. You better hide, you better run, aggravate or start your ass. Make sure you don't come to court, fixin' to be a flat line. While you on life support, you done ran across your maker. I promise I don't miss them, I had to whoop that trick, cause my mind said get on. Whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that, 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 whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that. You know I rap hustle, hustle the rap game, but still tied to my niggas in the trap game. That means I'm still street, that means I'm still hood. I chose another route, but trick I'm still hood. You get respect if you give it, that's the way it go. And if I don't know you, just know I'm watching close. And if I do know you, don't throw no crosses, man. They say the closest ones, they quick to get you, man. Yeah, it's a dirty game, gotta watch your front and back. These niggas love to hate, I put my life on that. I'm one of the trillers, I can't help but spit the raw truth. This sucker got an attitude, what you gon' do? I'm trying to keep my cool, that's when it's arm's reach. That's when you cross the line, that's when it gets deep, it gets deep. I ain't worried about the tough talk. If I'm invited at home, I'ma knock the top off. Whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that. In case you didn't know, Al Kapone's name. I wrote this song for the movie, but it's not a game. Whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that. Remix, whoop that, whoop that, remix, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that, whoop that.
My nigga 3-6 Mafia. Bet you wouldn't hit a motherfucker. They bet you wouldn't push a motherfucker. But you know what I bet?
I bet you won't see that bitch, see that bitch, see that bitch, see that bitch, see that bitch. I bet you won't do that hoe, do that hoe, do that hoe, do that hoe, do that hoe. I bet you won't. I ain't the killer, but don't push me, don't push me, don't push me, don't push me, don't push me. I bet you won't. I ain't the killer, but don't push me, don't push me. Hell no, we ain't no killer, but we fucking you all. Motherfucker looking for trouble, bitch, you got me ready to go to war. Now think about nothing else, it's good, the gift, let's get to the score. You started this shit, I'ma finish this shit. Hands on the motherfucker pistol grip. Nigga didn't really wanna even trip. Now it seems like I got an empty clip. Punk ass nigga gotta recognize I really ain't with that stupid shit. But I be goddamn if I let you disrespect me. What make you wanna get me? I ain't about to go out like a weak ass Rudy Blue. I'm loading my gun and you best believe a nigga like me is able to shoot. Don't give a fuck if you want a two. All I wanna do is blow your head off your neck. Watch your body shake and see our bloody red. No remorse, irrational. All about capital hoe. Niggas try to put they trust in me. What the fuck they call around here for? This awesome shit? Okay, I got a little something for that ass. Say hello to these bullets as I blast. I ain't no killer, but you push me over the edge, and I ain't gon' stop until your ass is dead. Until your ass is dead. Beat that bitch, beat that bitch, beat that bitch, beat that bitch, beat that bitch. I bet you won't do that hoe, do that hoe, do that hoe, do that hoe, do that hoe. I bet you won't. I ain't killer, but don't push me, don't push me, don't push me, don't push me. real peasy. Oh boy. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so Montana. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. La 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 la. Right behind the Jason man. La 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 la. Made him feel the mega blast. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so Montana. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. La 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 la. Right behind the Jason man. La 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 la. Made him feel the mega blast. Break a 1-9. Check the sign of the time when I die. Think of my dead body. Here's what you find. Glock to your face, bitch. This that Scarface style shit. Rat-a-tat-a, check 9. That fool should've never been fucking with this. Feeling some fun, locking them in the trunk like Tony down in Zerk. Memphis 10, 1993. I'm talking about putting in work. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs. Fucking them down, fucking them up. Nothing but Anna for you hoes. Niggas should've never tried to test my nuts. Ride on my haters, bitches keep on talking shit. I don't give a fuck though. Smack 'em with the pistol grip. It's your boy Easy back on your funky ass. Mouth full of gold teeth, right behind the Jason mask. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so Montana. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. La 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 la. Right behind the Jason mask. La 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 la. Made him feel the mega blast. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so Montana. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. La 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 la. Right behind the Jason mask. La 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 la. Made him feel the mega blast. Play a hater's lullaby as I lay you down to sleep for each and every enemy. I pray to the loyal souls he keeps. Death is your fucking wish. Haters be talking too much shit. Rock-a-bye, bitch. Rest in peace in a 60 ditch. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so much Anna. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. In 6 million ways, you can end up in your grave. Another player, hater, blood and murder through the eyes of Scarface style on the front page. Ride on my haters, bitches keep on talking shit. I don't give a fuck though. Smack 'em with the pistol grip. It's your boy Easy back on your funky ass. Mouth full of gold teeth, right behind the Jason mask. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so Montana. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. La 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 la. Right behind the Jason mask. La 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 la. Made him feel the mega blast. Ain't no love, nothing but slugs, so Montana. Your hold is good, nigga, what's up? Step right up so I can fuck you up. La 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 la. Right behind the Jason mask. La 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 la. Made him feel the mega blast.
What's the deal, y'all? This your boy, Rick Capo, a.k.a. King Eric the Great, and you're now tuned in at episode 244 of Off the Cuff Radio, the livest show on Friday nights, sponsored by Buddy Boy Entertainment and Da Vinci Clothing. And tonight's guest, we have a legend in the building, y'all. This man is heavily responsible for pioneering some of the heaviest sounds for Memphis and the Dirty South overall. This man is putting in work since the early 90s, and we now celebrate the 25-year legacy of the work he's putting out. And the cold part about it, he's not even finished. If anything, he's just getting started. So, without further ado, let's bring on the legendary M-Town legend, Al Kapone, y'all.
Oh, boy. What's up with you, man?
You already know, man. We had to put that intro down for you.
Hey, man, that was a beautiful intro, man. I appreciate that, man. I should have been recording that. That sounds like I could start something off. You hear me?
Shoot, I should have put on an intro.
Man, you feel me? It could be an intro to a show or an album or something. You know what I'm saying, man? That was a beautiful intro, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. It's a pleasure having you on, man, because we want to put our audience on and let them know where you come from, the work you put in, your contributions to the M-Town and to the southern sound that's currently bubbling right now. And before we get started, the call number is 1-619-924-0703. And I want to start by asking, man, how you doing tonight, bro?
Man, I just had, first and foremost, can you hear me clearly?
Say what now?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yo, yeah, we definitely can hear you.
Okay. Say no more. I just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, make sure you can hear me. But my night is great so far. I had this amazing dinner that's got me feeling super good right now. Got a drink in my system. It's a beautiful night, man. It's a beautiful Friday, man. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
Yes, indeed, man. Aside for this muggy weather, you know, it's killing the spirit out here in the Carolinas. We still maintain
It's doing it like that for y'all?
Man, that humidity ain't no joke, man. It's been hitting my allergies and everything.
Ooh-wee.
So I've been having to sip lemon tea, take a lot of Benadryl, and try to fight it off. Because this weather is, I could say it's very bipolar weather out here in the Carolinas.
Well, listen, man, you saying all that, talking to you now, I would not have known all of that. Because, you know, you sound like you're still in good spirits. So, man, you know, you're handling it very well.
Appreciate that, man. It's like you got to put your jersey on. Feel like Jordan with the flu game, but you got to put the jersey on and let it represent it for a full quarter. Can't let them see you sweat.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, we happy to see. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is that new video that came out, and it seems like y'all touching on that the blues, that country vibe that's going on.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. That song is actually a song that was wrote by Ashton Riker. He's the singer on the song. It's actually his song. He put out an EP, and that song is actually on the album, produced by Andrew Sano. And basically, I talked to them about making, adding a little hip-hop flavor to it. And I actually took a verse that I kind of edited, but it was a verse that I used about 3 years ago on a song with Zilla for a mixtape. So I kind of brought that verse back and revised it to go with that particular song, and we wanted to hip hop it out. So, but the thing was, we wanted to mix all the genres. It was a way to mix all the genres: hip hop, the soul vibe of Memphis, a little, slight rock, little twist of country with some of the guitar licks and everything. So it was a way to try to combine all the genres and pay homage to my city, man, Memphis, Tennessee. So that's what you get. The song Back Home. It came together pretty nice, man. We put the video together with Michael Butler, and man, everything kind of came together. It's a cool little Memphis anthem. I try to keep one out here and there.
It's a cool thing to see with the culture now, because you have the guy Lil Nas X. He's blowing up right now, merging those two genres together with country and trap music. So to see you guys tapping in that flavor and making it sound fly, it's a dope thing to witness.
Oh man, I appreciate that. But Lil Nas X is winning in a major way with it. But it's actually a lot of other artists that's really been doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about country artists, country hip hop artists that got the trap sound in it. That's kind of been doing it before the Lil Nas X song. So they, in a way, they probably kind of built the foundation. So by the time he came with it, it was already like a little subgenre of people that automatically supported it on top of other people. But he's winning hands down with it. So it's kind of, it's probably new to the masses, but like on the underground level, it's kind of always been there. And there's a lot of artists that, if people dig a little deeper, they'll be like, oh shit, that artist got that sound too, and that artist got that sound too. And but Lil Nas X, he definitely knocked the doors off to the masses. So it's a lot more acceptable at this moment.
Yeah, and we can even go back to Pimp C, when Pimp C coined the terms country rap tunes.
Yes, sir.
you could hear those origins all the way back then. Even listening to some of you guys, the way y'all pioneered that Memphis sound. You can also hear the blues and.
Oh yeah.
It just covers all those layers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We Memphis music, man. Memphis music definitely was around before the hip hop era came around, and it's always been like a prevalent music in the music culture. Overseas, completely eats it up. You know what I'm saying? For the whole Memphis sound, which is connected with the Delta sound of Mississippi. You know, it's all like a beautiful connection. And by the time the hip hop sound came, it's ironic that we were able to create a unique sound. Well, I ain't gonna say it's ironic. It's a Memphis thing. You know, we came up with our own unique hip hop carver, hip hop culture. And the crazy part is that it's like mainstream now. It was a time where it was like just a subculture, and it wasn't really respected in other hip hop cultures like the East Coast, and the West Coast always rocked with it, but it was like other areas that fully rocked with it. But now, shit, worldwide rock with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the sound of today.
It's just funny how it just now the shift of tried to where now the South is now calling the shots, and now a lot of the guys that was throwing that shade back then, now they got to come through to get the money now. Paying homage to the South. It's just try to gain this ricochet like that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it should always remind people that nobody has control or power over anything. You know what I'm saying? Things gonna move the way they move, and if you think you got full control over something and try to shun something else, you never know that thing you shun it might grow to be bigger than what you could ever imagine. So we don't have no control over anything. All we can do is, man, just enjoy and pay homage. You know what I'm saying? Pay respect and homage to what homage is doing. Man, keep the game moving. It's all love. Like the new generation, man. I love the new generation, what they doing. Keep the game moving. Mm-hmm. It won't move without the new generation. There's some things that, you might be like, but realistically, through hip-hop history, you got them records and songs and artists that you be like, So it's not a new generation thing. It's you know what I'm saying? It always existed, but it's good stuff within the you know what I'm saying? I guess subpar stuff as well. But hip hop is hip hop, man. I'm glad to just be a part of it in some shape, form, or fashion, because I personally am a fan of hip hop in general.
Which brings me to why we brought you on in the first place, because we do at our show, we like to do our crate digging, and we want to also shed light on the pioneers that open those doors, and you have to be one of those guys to kick that door down. And I want to talk to you. We're going to talk about the beginning stages, and we're going to correlate it through periods of where you was releasing certain albums and how it was correlating with your life at that point. So going to the beginning stages, what made you choose the stage name Al Kapone, and who inspired you to really want to pick up a mic and rock this?
Man, you definitely taking it back, man. I start with who inspired me to pick up the mic. Again, it was basically hip hop. Like I was in elementary, and once I caught that hip hop bug, and we talking about the early days of hip hop. Once I caught that bug, man, I was like, man, I love this art form, and it wasn't even just about the rapping. It was the DJing, it was the break dancing, it was the graffiti, it was the way they dressed. It was the whole thing. It was just a whole culture that I just feel like, man, I feel a part of something. For the first time in my life, like I said, in elementary, I'm like, I feel a part of it. So I was inspired by the culture. And, of course, certain MCs. I can go through the history of MCs. I can talk about people like Killer Rock and Just Ice, you know what I'm saying, Mantronics. Groups like that don't get, artists and groups like that don't get the recognition for pioneering the game, you know what I'm saying, at a certain point as well. Of course, the Run DMCs, the LL Cool J's, the KRS-Ones, you know what I'm saying, and we on the East Coast now. No, all of those guys at that time, and man, even guys like MC Shan, man, I go back, you know what I'm saying, on that level, Mr. Magic, DJs like Mr. Magic, you know what I'm talking about? And of course, all the West Coast, man, I was influenced by all of that. So hip hop, man, it just, man, all of hip hop influenced me to pick up the mic. I wanted to be them. I used to be in front of the mirror with a brush in my hand, man, rapping them songs as if I was them, man. I'm in the mirror like that's my video, but I'm emulating those guys, and those guys inspired, and just hip hop in general inspired me to want to be a part of it. I had to.
Yeah, man, and it's funny how we had Shan on the show a couple weeks back, and he was saying the same thing, how when the culture was evolving in the 80s, it influenced him. Like, you had to get down. Like, it made you want to pick up a mic because you saw how passionate these guys were, and you saw how they would put their pain and lyricism on the table, and you could lead through the track.
You identify with that, you know what I'm saying, especially coming up in the hood, and you know what I'm saying, coming up in that environment, you related to it. You related to the look, you related to the energy. Even if, like, being from the South, even though we didn't dress like East Coast, it still was that ghetto hood street mentality, that energy. Even though we weren't gang banging like that, like they were doing in the West Coast, but we still related to that street energy and that street mentality. So you just related to it. So it was like, man, this is that. I am that. That is me. I got to be, you know what I'm saying, some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. I got to be in it. I got to be a part of this. I'm already a part of it. Once it caught my ear, that's me. So all of it inspired me. I guess to answer your first question, hip hop in general inspired me. And the name Al Kapone, man, the thing about the name Al Kapone, I really didn't even try to start out with the name Al Kapone. I tried to start out with the name Scarface Al. And like some of my early records, I relate to myself as Scarface Al. I even made something new on the Jason Mass EP that I released in October, and I got this song called Scarface Al shit. But it was Scarface Al was supposed to be my name. And at the time, the Ghetto Boys was coming up, and I remember when the Ghetto Boys didn't have Scarface or Willie D in the group. There was two other guys in the group. Bushwick Bill and Reddy Red was still in it. So I was already a fan of the Ghetto Boys at the time, so I was calling myself Scarface Al. And then at some point, this guy named DJ Action, actually, I'll go back a little bit more. Willie D's Controversy album came out. I was a major fan of it. There was this super raunchy chick named Choice that was raunchy before Lil' Kim. A lot of people don't even know about this Houston female MC that talked nasty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Her name was Choice. She was on Rap a Lot. But they was out, and then at some point, I guess Willie D and Scarface became a part of the Ghetto Boys. But I remember Scarface was going by the name of DJ Action. And I think the song Scarface, I mean, he can tell the story better than I can tell the story. I'm just telling it from my point of view because I knew him as DJ Action. But once the song Scarface had blew up, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if he became Scarface at that point or he was Scarface before the song. But once he came out and got really known, you know, Scarface's song blew up and everything, I was doing shows. And people would start to come up to me, and I'm talking about in my little region. They were coming to me asking me where Bushwick Bill was, and that's when I realized, I ain't nobody to call myself Scarface out because they think I'm Scarface. So that's at that point I had already added the Capone on it, and it was like, okay, I'm just have to drop the Scarface and just go with Al Capone. So really, that's realistically how the name Al Capone ended up becoming my hip hop name. when it really was supposed to be Scarface out.
That's dope right there. And when you was coming in, the Memphis scene was slowly starting to, find its niche, find its sound. Like, what was the key components of how you found your sound?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the Memphis sound had started just before I became a solo artist. I was with this group called RG Syndicate, Men of the Hour. But we had guys like DJ Spanish Fly that was kind of representing the culture that was going on in Memphis for us, like the D-boys and the street hustlers and folks like that. They were coming to the club and they were doing like certain dances like the gangster walk, doing chanting Get Buck, and he was playing the records, but he was like one of the first that put out mixtapes and was rapping over the type of tracks that kind of represented what was going on in the streets of Memphis for the club scene. And at some point, Gangsta Pat ended up popping off. Yeah, Gangsta Pat popping off, and he blew up. We had like groups like America's Most Wanted that was doing their thing, and you know what I'm saying. And I was doing my thing with the RG Syndicate, but I merged with a couple of guys that was out of America's Most Wanted, and we formed Men of the Hour. Again, at this time, we was like, let me think, 21st Century Youth Club. That was like this spot a lot of the early hip-hop guys used to go to. Then we all migrated at some point to OTS Records. That's where Gangsta Pat put his record out, and he blew up nationwide. You had DJ Squeeky there, you had Pretty Tony there, you had Sheila from the group Second Level, you had me, you had Psycho, there was so many, DJ Zerk, Radical T, there was so many of the early 8-Ball and MJG. The early Memphis music scene was, and I'm missing some people that was in that particular OTS Records at the time, and I would say that's when the Memphis scene really just put the stamp on this is our sound. The eerie, scary sound. Psycho used to do a lot of this stuff. Gangsta Pat used to do some of that stuff. A lot of the beats had the slow 808 tempos with the triplet hi-hats, and you know what I'm saying? And again, we talking about, there was pre-3-6 Mafia, there was pre-Tommy Wright III, Player Fly, like all the guys that went Skinny Pimp. It was before Skinny Pimp too. We influenced them, and they was able to take the baton and just take it even further. But that's like the early origins of Memphis hip hop, man. We were just doing music that make people get buck. It later became Get Crunk in Atlanta, but we used to call it Get Buck in the club because that's what we used to chant in the club and everything. Make people get wild and fights and shit used to start. But the music, the beats, and the sound had the same sound. A lot of the what we call trap music now, with them eerie sounds and them triplets and all that stuff. That was the sound we was doing then, and nobody else wasn't really doing that sound. We was doing it. It was really a true Memphis underground sound. And you know, I'm happy to be SMK. I'm forgetting about SMK, another guy that played a pivotal part in the Memphis hip hop scene and the sound as a producer. Again, like I said, I'm gonna miss some more people too, but I'm happy to be a part of it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's what I want to say in the end. I want to give everybody props, but I also want to say I'm happy to be a part of that early scene that, you know, that really truly laid the foundation for Memphis rap, later on crunk, later on trap. We are the foundation.
Now, do you care to give like our listeners a brief description on how the grind was and getting your sound out there? Because at that time, you had to either sound you from the West Coast, you from the East Coast, and if you came through with that sound, it was very unorthodox, but it was original. And a lot of people at the time, especially the people that were shot calling these labels, they didn't really understand how to market it or understand it for that matter. So do you care to discuss like how that was, like, you know, that day-to-day grind?
Man, you know what I'm saying? The early days, we did our Memphis shit. we dabbled in some of the West Coast vibes because this was Soul City, so we dug the guitars and all that stuff too. But the main industry, we was like a dot on the blimp. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they didn't see us. To be honest with you, but it didn't matter because we were just doing what was true to us. Bottom line, we were simply doing what was true to us in our community. Our community loved it, so we enjoyed representing our community. So it didn't even matter what the main hip hop was all about. It didn't matter to us. You know what I'm saying? We were just enjoying representing our culture and in Memphis and being able to go out of town to places like different places in Mississippi, Arkansas, other places in Tennessee, Georgia. We was happy to just go into the little pockets, and they treat us as big as we were big as some of the biggest hip hop stars that was out at the time. But we was just enjoying it. To be honest with you, we weren't even thinking about the fact that they weren't really rocking with us. We just hustle our mixtapes and go out and do shows and what they call the chilling circle and the little hole in the wall clubs. We just did that, and it was so much. We were teenagers too. You got to remember that. What teenager wouldn't be happy to be able to go and do shows, not only in their city but in little surrounding area in their city, make a little money. You know what I'm saying? Get showered without nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? What teenager's not gonna be happy? You're not thinking about the rest of the industry ain't respecting it. Who cares? I'm having a goddamn good time. I'm enjoying my life right now.
And what's fascinating about that sound was, see, with the East Coast, it made you like, you nod your head to the beat. It give you a description in your mind that you in the New York state of mind, you in the train, you just vibing to.
True.
West Coast music is more like low rider music, like, nice sunny day, you smoking good herb, you playing good music. But y'all music made niggas amp. Like, y'all made niggas want to fight. And it was also fascinating. Then y'all had the loops where y'all would like take certain samples and loop it and it'd be repetition. And I was like, this shit is hypnotizing.
You hit it right on the head. It was very hypnotic. That's when Paul and Juicy came up with the name Hypnotized Mind. I was like, that's so fucking clever because, like you said, some of those loops are fucking hypnotizing. It's like you literally like caught up in that. You caught up in that shit. So I don't know, man. It was just something we did. Again, it wasn't one person. It wasn't one group. It wasn't one producer. It was something that I think the streets kind of dictated. Like at some point, this is what it is, and the producers and the artists, we all just caught on and said, man, this is us. And we just were happy to present it. And that shit just spread it little by little. It just kept spreading. Each year, each artist got a little bigger, you know what I'm saying? And it just spread it and spread it and spread it. But at some point, we stopped getting the recognition. You know what I'm saying? And people kind of, unless you was in the know, when you heard certain southern hip hop with a certain sound, unless you were in the know, you didn't even realize that was a Memphis sound. A lot of the hot southern artists that started bubbling, I would say in like late 90s and early 2000s, they were actually getting hip hop Memphis producers to give that sound. But the masses didn't even realize it was a Memphis sound. They just thought it was a southern sound. And that goes for today with trap. They don't realize the Memphis influence in trap music. Most the mass of people, but people in the know.
Yeah, it was very hypnotic sound. It was like something. It was something like. It was hypnotizing because you know how Dre, when he dropped the Chronic, he dropped those. He had those melodies, and they were catchy. But the way you was looping certain samples, it was like you said, hypnotizing. So you was like, damn, it's weird, but I'm gonna have to go back to that. And it got a lot of knocking the trunk. So I was like, I got to go right back to that.
I think that was the other part of it. The knocking the trunk played a huge part of it.
Yes, that played a key role because I ain't never even heard production like this before. So you guys, you basically kicked that door down.
I mean, on the production end, I learned. I eventually learned from the original guys like Psycho and people like Gangsta Pat and you know what I'm saying, DJ Squeeky and all them, Zerk. On the production end, I got to get in on the props for that. I was just one of the guys that was like, you know what I'm saying, had some of the early flows and, you know what I'm saying, and went out and did shows and represented Memphis, the culture of Memphis hip-hop because, you know, I was a fan of hip-hop and I recognized early that, hold on, we got our own, you know what I'm saying, some cities have a sound, but we actually have probably a culture that goes with it in the same way that hip-hop had breakdancing. We got the gangster walking, which turned into juking, along with the chants and the, you know what I'm saying, the whole slang and everything. It was a little more than just the music. So, you know, I was one of those guys that helped spread the culture of it. But the production, man, I got to give it up to our guys, SMK and all them guys. Man, they definitely branded that sound to a T.
There you have it right there. And going back to you and your music, the first joint I heard from you was from Street Knowledge Chapters 1 through 12, and the first track that I heard was da 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 boom. I was like, what the fuck? This shit sound good. that track there. Then I could hear the KRS influence that you had up there.
Yep, listen to my 9mm go bang. That was
and putting that together, what was that experience like? What was going on in your life at the time when you was putting that together? Because I think that was where people started noticing who you were.
Yep. I mean, before then, in Memphis, I had this song called Lyrical Drive-By, and that's what really gave me my name in the city. So when it was time to come with another single, I decided to go with this chant, rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a boom. It was like one of the chants they did in the club, kind of like one of the chants they did when they were saying get booked. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that the rat-a-tat-a-boom chant, and you know and call it another lyrical drive-by. Kind of expand on the lyrical drive-by. So basically, that's what was going on. You know, I wanted to make an even crunker, bucker song than my original song, and to be able to include the chants in the hook, and then add a little groove in the verses, and you know, just keep that Memphis shit going. It was basically representing Memphis. Basically, that's all it boiled down to, representing Memphis and the whole Memphis underground club scene. That was the point of that whole record.
And the way I was thinking it with this drop, and it said 12 chapters, I'm thinking we might get 12 tapes of this. That's what I was thinking at first.
Yeah. Now, I apologize for smacking in your ear, man.
Oh, no, you good.
This damn grilled ass chicken good as a motherfucker right now. I was trying to stay away from it while we were talking, but I keep slipping to it. But,
man, don't even worry about it.
Say no more.
I don't blame you.
So chapters 1 through 12, I should have stuck to the formula a lot more. I had different people in my ear. Well, first and foremost, I was always open to all styles of music, even though I was a lover of hip hop. But I had different people in my ear about doing too many different sounds and styles. And I was trying to still keep the Memphis vibe in it. And then I was kind of going through in my life. Actually, I had my first child on that was born. You know what I'm saying? I'm like in my early 20s, like 20, 21. I got my first child. So life got a little more realer being in the streets, whereas like the first record I put out, it was more about street shit. By the time Street Knowledge chapters 1 through 12 came, you know what I'm saying? I was honestly, in a lot of those songs, I was a lot more serious about life. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm looking at the fact that I got a daughter at this point. You know, life got real for me, so it reflected in a lot of the lyrics in the song, on a lot of those songs. It was about real life rather than just the street. And honestly, in some ways, it might have hurt me a little bit at the time because, you know what I'm saying, people had kind of latched on to the street shit of it. And I was so young, and people that were listening to it were young. They weren't ready to get that deep and serious, but shit, that was my life at the time. Shit, I was just expressing myself through my music. You know what I'm saying? My life had got real.
Yeah, that's another one of the challenges that a lot of artists deal with is when you hit them over the head with something like, you know, hardcore street stuff, they want to keep on hearing that. And sometimes when you hit them with stuff to think about, sometimes it goes over their head a little bit, but at the end of the day, they'll appreciate it because you want your artist to grow.
Well, you know what? I understand. It's called. I mean, you know, when you're doing branding, if you getting food, if you getting a box of Cheerios, you don't want no goddamn Frosted Flakes in them. So
it's like giving.
So
that's a good analogy right there. That's like serving your base pizza, and the next week you serving them broccoli in a way.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you might be giving them something healthy that's good for them, but they wasn't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and again at that age, I'm not thinking about that level of marketing and branding. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even thinking like that. I'm like I said, I'm dealing with real life. I don't know shit about no damn branding and marketing at the time. All I know is how to express myself through hip hop. But I understand, I understood years later that the importance of sticking to, you know, the sound and the brand that people, you know, expect from you. And then if you're gonna grow, you got, you know, it's a way you got to do it. You just can't, like you said, give them pizza and then turn around and give them broccoli. You know what I'm saying? You might want to give them the pizza and throw a couple of broccoli sprinkles on them. You got to slowly do it. You just can't just switch it up on them. I respect that and I understand it.
Yeah, they'll go through a health shock. They like, what was this?
Exactly. Even though it's good for them, it's like, hell no, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just about, you know, keeping that steady balance. And sometimes you just got to give them a pre-up and, you know, prepare them. Like give them like preparation meals and stuff like that.
Exactly. But when you're young, man, you ain't thinking like that. You're just not thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? You just going through what you're going through at the time, and you just living life. But I understand it now, and I learn from those lessons because in some ways it hurt me, in some ways it helped me. But the beautiful thing about it all is I learned from it, and being able to learn from it, I'm able to you know what I'm saying, teach. And I have taught a lot of people from my lessons, and which help them make better, you know, make better and go on to do better things with their career. So I'm happy to just be able to learn the lesson and pass it on.
So we go into that stage until now we're in the stage of the $79 album, The Resurrection, which you can find on Amazon. And y'all better give my man a cut right there.
Hey,
the
whoever
cut,
doing that,
not
man.
even 1/3.
But you know what? They ain't gonna do it because if they're gonna do it, they got plenty of ways to reach out to me. But you know, hey, it's always silver lining when I look into it. It just let me know that there's some people out there that still rock with their record, and I just gotta offer it and make sure it's not $79. So you know what I'm saying? It's a more affordable price for the people. So when y'all see when y'all see that record come out, I might throw a couple of bonus cuts on there, just you know what I'm saying, just out of love that I know that nobody else ain't got, and offer it at a better price, and you know what I'm saying, and give the fans what they want, but show them a lot more love.
Now this album here though, The Resurrection, this came out on 1995, 96, correct?
Yep. You hit it on the head.
Okay. And this was around the time where, 3-6 was getting out there with the Mystic Styles, and it kind of it was like y'all was dipping into the horrorcore vibe with it. I looked at the cover, even the cover bugged me out a little bit. I was like, oh, this was crazy as shit.
Hey man,
I don't even know what to expect. Cause keep in mind, I was just now getting into it. I was a teenager. I was just now getting into the Memphis sound because I got a little bored with the Southern, with the West Coast sound at the time, and the East Coast. I wanted some more different flavors, so I started dipping into the Memphis sound.
Yeah.
And I see your joint. I was like, what the hell? What am I going to get myself into? And then he had your eyes rolled the back like the Undertaker. He had the cross in the background. I was like, what is this?
That's crazy, dude. Man, speaking on that cover, I was actually in the graveyard, and God bless the dead, whoever grave tombstone I was on. I was young, crazy, and was on some more shit. But I actually took that picture in the graveyard at somebody's tombstone. But and the eyes roll back in the head thing, I used to do that shit for fun. Like as a kid, it was like some fun, funny, crazy shit. So when it was time to take that shot, I was like, I'm gonna do that eye roll back in the head shit that I used to do before I even thought about being a damn rapper. And that's what gave you that wicked ass looking cover.
It damn sure sold it, man, because I was thinking, this is my first introduction to, like, horrorcore. It was between Mystic Styles, that album, and the album that Brother Lynch on dropped called Season of the Sickness.
Ooh, Season of the Sickness.
So, I was in tune for something I ain't never experienced, but at the same time, that joint knocked so hard.
Thank you, sir.
That joint knocked so hard. It was like, okay. I was at first, as a young, you scared to pick it up because you don't know what to expect. But then you start hearing the sounds of how all this stuff was just correlating together. It was like, yo, this is a masterpiece.
Wow, thank you, man.
And you was on the zone on that album.
Well, that particular album actually was an extension of an album that I had did maybe a year or two before called Sinister Funk. And Sinister Funk, like at least four or five of those records that's on the Resurrection came from Sinister Funk. Sinister Funk was a mixture of dark music and a mixture of soulful music. That's why it was called Sinister Funk. But by the time the Resurrection came around, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go straight dark. So I'm gonna keep some of those dark records and I'm gonna add some more to it. I'm going straight dark with this because I always dabbled in those dark records. You know what I'm saying? Years before, in my early days, before people even knew who I was, I always dabbled in those dark records and worked with guys like Psycho, and we did dark records like that. DJ Paul, if you ever get a chance to interview him, ask him, do he remember some early dark records by Al Kapone before he even blew up as Al Kapone? And he'll probably tell you about some of those records. But by the time the Resurrection came, I was like, I saw that it had kind of got popular, that dark sound.
Yeah.
That I had been doing. Just I wasn't doing it a lot, but I do it like on a few songs, and then the other songs will have different styles and different vibes. And you got to remember too, I came up listening to hip hop records back when the thing to do was to have a variety of songs on your album. So it wasn't about staying with one sound throughout the whole record. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a record with a soulful sound. You'll have a record that has a rock sound to it. know what I'm saying? It was different. It was all hip hop, but it was cool to mix it up. So when I was making records, I would do the same thing. I would mix it up. So you have dark records, you'll have this kind of record, more soulful, groovy record. But again, by the time the Resurrection came, I noticed that the dark sound had started getting popular. So I was like, you know what? I've been doing this shit. How about not just do a whole record dedicated to that? Because I'm one of the pioneers of it, and I enjoy it. To the point, I heard you play a record that I just did last year, Jason Mask, and it was kind of like that little project was a tribute going back to that dark sound, because I was like, oh, it's people still that's a fan of that. Let me let them know I can still do that too. I still rock with that shit too.
Oh yeah, I've got to add too. I also got to add Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999 in that category as well. But those guys, they also mixed a lot of melody. They put melody into it, like a lot of harmonizing.
Yep. But you know what? If you listen to some of that early stuff I did, I would do little stuff like that. Like even on Devil's Playground. They said, I don't mind, this the Devil's Playground. You know, I was doing little melodies, but Bone Thugs, they took it to another level with the melodies. But I don't know, it was something cool about it. Added to the dark sound when you can kind of sound spooky with it. You can rap, but then when you do the melodies, it added this extra little eerie, spooky vibe that was kind of cool. So I'm just saying that to say that even though they took it to the next level, I used to always dabble in that, not knowing that it was a thing.
Mhm. Yeah, that as you could tell with the '90s when that dark era was ushering, like a lot of artists was just experimenting with these different sounds, and the dark sound eventually ushered up and opened up a lot of doors.
Yeah,
it was a crazy time.
It was.
As a youngster,
it really was.
Especially as a youngster, you was discovering it. It threw me for a loop. I was like, okay, I'm gonna rock with this.
I can only imagine. Honestly, listening to you talk about it, you was on the other side of it. I was on the side of creating it. You was on the other side of actually discovering it. So it's kind of cool to hear how somebody felt when they discovered the shit.
Man, it's like being on the East Coast, because at the time of the East Coast, everybody was playing like Biggie, Junior Mafia, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, all them. And I bring this to the table, niggas look at me so sideways like, what the fuck?
I like, man, you don't get
the
fuck out of here with that devil shit.
I got side-eyed so many times at the lunchroom. They was like, yo, what is this? I'm like, man, this gonna be the new wave. Watch what I say.
Damn. Wow, that's crazy, man. So it was people like you. It was people like you that is, you know what I'm saying, that helped spread it. We created it, but it was people like you that helped spread it, man. So thank you.
Appreciate it, man, because I knew when I heard those albums, like it was gonna be innovative, because I ain't never heard nothing like that before in my life.
Yeah.
And then when Chapter 2 World Domination dropped in 3-6, that kicked the door down.
Yes, sir. Now, man, I'm telling you, 3-6 down, man, they definitely went worldwide with it and did it on levels that we never could have saw coming. And the fact that they, you know what I'm saying, was able to stay independent and keep control over, you know what I'm saying, a lot of their rights and shit. The fact that they were able to eat off of it and, you know what I'm saying, and not give it away, man, it was watching it blow up was one thing, but watching the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that they were able to stay in control of the business side was also a beautiful thing for me to see, because I know I spoke with you earlier, man, but like in the early days, Paul even did an interview. DJ Paul did an interview where he said that his uncle was telling him about publishing. But he had reached. I remember him reaching out to me, and I actually ordered the publishing papers from Nashville because I was up on the game because I had got fucked earlier. You know, I was before them, so I didn't know shit about no damn publishing at one point in them early days. So I got fucked over on some early publishing. So I had to educate myself. I started reading the books and shit and try to figure out what the fuck just happened. And once I realized what was going on and realized how to do it, you know what I'm saying, I knew how to actually, you know what I'm saying, get the forms and fill them out and all that shit. So Paul had reached out to me. I ordered the forms and actually met with him, gave it to him, you know what I'm saying, explained to him what to do to fill it out and shit. And man, that being said, to watch them, the fact that they were able to stay in control, I mean, I'm not trying to take credit for them owning their own publishing and shit like that, because they could have found that out through somebody else because they wanted to know. I'm just glad that I knew, and I was very happy to pass on the knowledge to them because I didn't want nobody else to get fucked over like I got fucked over. I'm like, that was my whole thing. I was more than happy, and I passed that information on to anybody that asked me. But the fact that they were able to eat off of this shit and keep the sound going, and man, it was a beautiful thing to watch, man. So 3-6 is one of the, you know what I'm saying, what they call cornerstones of Memphis hip hop that took us to another level. Actually, they the ones that ushered in the next generation of Memphis hip hop with Yo Gotti.
And it was beautiful to see them guys finally win that Oscar in 2006 because knowing how the work them dudes put in, them dudes produced like over 40 albums, including compilations.
Yeah.
Including solos.
Man, the fact that they won the Oscar and it was an Oscar that was won from a movie that was made in Memphis. Because you got to think about it, when we talking about the movie Hustle and Flow right now, I know we was in the era of the resurrection, but you know what I'm saying, years passed after I did work with my guy E40 out there in the Bay. This guy named Craig Brewer came with this movie called Hustle and Flow. So, and this was at a time when Atlanta completely dominated Southern hip hop. Dominated. You know what I'm saying? Get Crunk was like, even though we knew we had did this whole, what was considered Get Crunk, we had did that like 10 years before. It's like the masses had finally like accepted it, and Atlanta dominated. And Memphis was man, we weren't even getting no recognition about shit. The only people that was getting any props was 3-6 Mafia. So Memphis as a whole wasn't getting love. 3-6 was getting love. So by the time Hustle and Flow came out, we finally got to put the spotlight back on Memphis, and people were like, "Oh shit, we forgot about Memphis." Oh shit, they did. You know what I'm saying? With songs like I wrote and produced "Whoop That Trick." With songs like "Whoop That Trick," they was like, "Oh shit, they were doing the chant and the buck crunk sound before." You know what I'm saying? It was finally put the spotlight back on the city as a whole, and for 3-6 to go on to win an Oscar from the film, man, it was just it was solidifying not only them, but it was solidifying Memphis.
That's a fact, man. And working on Hustle and Flow, man, what was that experience like?
Man, I'll never forget, man. I called Craig Brewer one day, reaching out to him, and we just did like a unofficial reunion because, you know, John Singleton passed, and the weird. I'm gonna tell you, everything will come together in a minute, but we were gonna do this Hustle and Flow. Craig reached out to me about doing. He was gonna show the movie at the movie theater because it hadn't been shown in the movie theater in years. So he wanted to show the movie at the movie theater, and he called and asked me would I come and be one of the speakers with him to talk about it. And this was like about 2 weeks before John Singleton passed away. So by the time John passed away, it was like about 3-4 days before we had to do it. We had already had this book, not having a clue that was going to end up happening. So we ended up doing that, talking about the movie and everything. So I learned a lot of shit about the movie that I didn't even know. But to go back to the beginning, I just called Craig Brewer from the parking lot. My brother was getting his car fixed. And while he was going to talk to the people, I was sitting in the car. And I was like, let me call Craig Brewer. So I called Craig Brewer. Craig, not knowing, this is what I learned. He was waiting on a call from, I think it was either Juicy J or DJ Paul, one of the two. So by the time I called, he noticed he got a call from the Memphis number. And he heard a guy talking with the Memphis slang, because he was in L.A. at the time. So he heard somebody talking with the Memphis slang. He assumed he was talking to Paul or Juicy, because he was literally waiting on that call. So he talking to me, I'm talking to him. And I noticed, I'm like, why is he talking to me like he knew I was going to call? And he's talking to me like, I think this is not who I think I'm talking to. So in the end, he realized, oh, shit, this is Al Kapone. So he was like, oh, dude, let me tell you what's going on. And he told me about the movie and everything. He said, well, John Singleton will be in town the next day. We're looking for this theme song. I'm gonna give you the script. I'm gonna give you the Terrence Howard's number. Let you talk to him, read the script, come up with a song, and I'll see if John will come and check it out. That's how I got involved in the movie Hustle and Flow, because I wrote the Hustle and Flow theme song, to Keep Hustling, Keep Flowing. I wrote that song that night. The next day when John Singleton and Craig Brewer came, Craig did not tell me. I just found this shit out at this showing about right around the time John passed. Craig brought John Singleton to the movie. Craig picked John Singleton up from the airport. He was supposed to take John straight to see 3 6 Mafia. And on his way there, he was like, hey, I want you to check out something at this studio. So John didn't even know he was coming. I didn't even know he didn't know. Craig just maneuvered some shit out of nowhere. So by the time they came to the studio, that's when he was like, I want you to check out this guy. You know what I'm saying? He got this song. So I played him the song. John heard it and was like, oh shit, this is the fucking song. We need this. So we worked something out, and then I was playing other records while Craig and John was talking. And Whoop That Trick came on. I was just playing my personal record, because I was just happy to get that one damn song in it. Then John heard it. John Singleton heard it, was like, what the fuck is that? I like, man, this song I got called Whoop That Trick on the new project I'm about to get ready to release. Then him and Craig started talking like, well, how did that song come about? I was like, yeah, all right. Well, I did this song called Beat That Bitch. You played it tonight. I Ain't a Killer. Tripped the fuck out when I heard it. You actually played it. But I was telling them that I had made that song years before, and I used to perform it at the club, and the club used to go fucking nuts. And I was like, fuck, the only fucked up part about it, that song is so violent and so, you know what I'm saying, explicit. I can never get radio play with it. And I said, man, I knew at that point I wrote this hook, the Whoop That Trick hook. It was supposed to be a spinoff of that I Ain't a Killer song. That's how that song came about. And when I was telling them about it, he looked at Craig like, man, you got to use that in the movie, man. We need that song in the movie, because we need DJ to make a song that's so raw. He can't come straight with the Keep Hustling, Keep Flowing song or the Hard Out Here for a Pimp song. We need him to have like this. His first song need to be like, man, real aggressive, like he was still raw. He was like, you got to tell how, you got to use Al Kapone's story in the movie where he could be like, man, I got this song, I'll Beat That Bitch, and then they got to be like, nah, man, it's too hard, and eventually it became Whoop That Trick. But anyway, my story inspired that scene in the movie, even the whole conversation and everything. So to say all that, when he heard "Whoop That Trick," he wanted that in the movie. Then he heard another song that I was still playing from that record that I was working on called "Get Crunk, Get Buck." He was like, "Man, we need to use that in this particular scene." And long story short, man, I ended up getting 3 damn songs in the movie, and I was just trying to get one in the motherfucker. And it all came because Craig brought John to the damn studio where I was, and John didn't even know he was coming to the motherfucker. He thought he was just going to see 3-6, so he get the 3-6 and was like, "Shit, what y'all got?" Because, man, I just got met with the dude Al Kapone, man. He just gave me straight Memphis heat. You know what I'm saying? And then they hit him with the hard out here for a pimp. So, you know what I'm saying? It all worked out in a beautiful way, man. And shit, Hustle and Flow, man. Hustle and Flow wouldn't be Hustle and Flow without the authentic Memphis music.
I think John had that same reaction that many people that wasn't familiar with y'all style had when they first hear it, especially the way they was put together on the movie. That dun 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 dun. Yep. It was like, oh, this what?
Yep.
It was so hyped because I remember seeing it in the theaters that night. It was so hyped that night when people started acting like Memphis cats. I was like, yo, they got something heat right here. We didn't know it was going to be a fight breakout. We didn't know none of that.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I was one of those witnesses. And keep in mind, I wrote the motherfucker. I'm in the movie theater for the first time, and that scene came on, and I'm like, the fucking movie theater turned into a fucking club. Everybody was lit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is not real. This is not. I've been to the movies for a million times. I ain't never seen the damn movie theater turn to a damn club. Everybody.
Man,
it was crazy.
It was just like that. Everybody in the crowd at that. I was like, yo, it done turned to the club up in here.
Unbelievable. It was amazing. Fucking unbelievable.
But yeah, man, it was a great thing to watch. Now, was gonna be a sequel to that movie, to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge, man. I mean, it's all in Craig Brewer's hand, man. So, you know what I'm saying? It's his call. You have to ask him. To my knowledge, I would say no. But you know, hey, you never know. You know what I'm saying? He might have something that he might decide one day, but that was his baby. So he gets to make that call.
Yeah, man. I mean, because, you know, you see a lot of stories every day. Oh, you got Hustle and Flow 2, or you got Four Brothers 2, you got Baby Boy 2. I'm like, man, y'all need to stop playing with John's catalog like this. You keep giving out.
Man, what? Man, you sure ain't lying. You sure ain't lying.
Then they hit you with the boys. I saw on my Instagram, the boys in the hood too. Like, come on, man.
Straight up. You bullshitting. No.
Oh, how you gonna do this?
Hell no. Wow. That'd be crazy.
But rest in peace, John Singleton, man. That was a big loss for the game right there, man, because he made so many innovative films.
Man, to know that man and for that man to embrace me, for him to have the stature that he had, and for him to embrace this independent underground, you know what I'm saying, early pioneer that, you know what I'm saying, you know, was still underground. The fact that the love that man showed me and the respect that man showed me, and on up to February of this year was the last time I talked to him. I reach out to him periodically just to, you know, say what's up to him, or if I'm in LA, just reach out, what's up, John? Just let you know. He always responded back. He never Hollywood. Never. I can name some people that did, but he was not one of them. He always kept it 100, man. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, man, to like you said, an innovator on films, and rest in peace just to a good dude, man, that you know what I'm saying, still looked out for the underdog.
Yes, indeed, man. And you know one thing I do miss about hip hop today is how you guys used to come out with compilations. You know how compilation was a big deal in the 90s?
Yep.
Because you got introduced with so many new artists coming in.
Yep. Exactly. That was the beat of compilations, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance to, like you said, hear a lot of different. You hear some of your favorites, and you get a chance to get introduced to a lot of new artists. Salute to my guy E40 and D Legit, because when they did Southwest Riders compilations, they looked out for me at that time. You know what I'm saying? I was underground. I was an independent underground artist, but I try to stay active in the game, and I always fuck with all hip hop. So I used to actually fuck with Bay Area rappers, underground rappers and shit. So, and in Texas underground rappers and New Orleans and Florida. I used to respect the game, but E40 noticed that I, you know what I'm saying, that I was still out here making my little moves as an independent artist, and he looked out for me by putting me on the Southwest Riders compilation, and that compilation introduced me to people that didn't know who I was. So you're absolutely right, man. Compilations played a pivotal part, especially for up and coming and independent artists, man. It introduced us to new audiences, and it was a beautiful thing, man. So yeah, we haven't had that in a while.
Man, compilations I used to find out about so many artists I ain't never even seen or heard from before. He always had that one song like, yo, who is that? Then you go do you ain't had no Google at the time, so you just had to do your research on your own. You just hoping this dude come back with another song.
Man, you go to the record store and start looking for that bubble like, man, is he in this bubble? We got a record.
There you go right there. Let me go.
I'm finna go and get his record, man. I like to see the shit he did on the compilation. I'm finna check
him out.
Yep.
But see, Memphis, y'all also had your own. Y'all had the Memphis Drama Volume 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, I used to put those compilations out. The Memphis Drama compilation. Actually, the first compilation I released was called Memphis Underground Hustler. That was the first time a Memphis compilation was ever put together. Before then, a lot of people did mixtapes, but nobody had ever put a compilation out that featured artists outside of their cliques. People would, like with the mixtapes, it was normally people within their cliques. But the Memphis Underground Hustler was the first compilation. Was like putting artists that was from different cliques all in one project. And honestly, I remember when I reached out to 360 them at the time to get a song on the compilation. Man, the beef between them and DJ Squeeky and Zert was so thick that they would not put a song on the compilation. They said the only way they'll put a song on the compilation is Squeaky didn't want on it. And I was like, man, I can't cross my guys out there. They fucking with me all. How I'm gonna tell them, man, I ain't gonna use your record? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to be like, man, I guess they not gonna. I guess 3 6 won't be on the motherfucking compilation, so I gotta fuck with. I'm not gonna fuck with my guys. So you know, but they beef was that deep. But the goal of the compilation was, and I was trying to get them to see that at the time, but I mean, I understand that they had some heavy shit going on. But the point of it all was to bring different cliques all on one project. But that particular, if anybody ever wondered why was 3 6 doing one on their compilation, that's why they weren't on it. But that was the first real Memphis compilation that was ever put out. Then some years later, I started doing Memphis Drama compilations. It was kind of like Memphis Underground Hustle, but I just decided to call it Memphis Drama, and I used to think it was cool. I even did a compilation called Memphis to the Bondi Bay, where we had that's where the I Ain't a Killer song was originally on, the Beat That Bitch song, where we collab with a lot of the underground Bay Area rappers and came up with Memphis to the Bondi Bay. I always thought it was cool to, again, it comes back to me being a fan of hip hop. Like, if I hear some shit and like, man, that shit, that's dope. But the only problem is these folks ain't got no way to be heard. Like, man, shit, I ain't got the biggest platform, but I got a little platform. man, I like that record, man. You should, let's work something out so you can get it on this compilation. So, you know what I'm saying? Through my little platform, you might be, you know what I'm saying? It might introduce you to some people. So that was the whole point of compilation. So Memphis Drama, that's what the whole point of me doing that. It was like, man, let me give back to the community of hip hop and turn people on to, you know what I'm saying, not only to some artists that they know, but turn them on to some artists that they don't know. And it worked out. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man, those were the glory days of the soundtracks and the movies, like movie soundtracks and compilations. That gave the game so much breathe-through for a lot of up-and-comers. And a lot of people used to get deals just off being on a compilation.
Yep.
And I would think,
ain't that how,
damn.
Ain't that, did Snoop get his fucking deal off Deep Cover?
Yes, indeed. Deep Cover.
And we first heard that damn Deep Cover song, we like, who the fuck is that with Dr. Dre? This shit is hard as fuck. Next thing you know, that was the birth of goddamn Snoop Dogg.
I had the same reaction. Cause first of all, the production alone hits me.
Yes,
then
sir.
I heard that doom, I was like, oh shit. This dude Dre is in the zone, and Snoop came in with that cool laid back flow. Like, yo, we gotta find this.
Exactly. And that was a soundtrack. That was a fucking sound. You right. Soundtracks and compilations actually birthed a lot of careers for a lot of people.
And you know he had to be hot. Like if you see somebody on the E40 soundtrack or compilation, you're like, damn, E40 stamps. This nigga must be nice.
Exactly. Real talk.
But it's clear how you was able to, you know, stand clear in the midst of the beef. Because one thing I learned about the South and how it's different from even the East and the West is when they beef, we don't know if it's gonna take that turn for the worse. Whereas it seems like in the East Coast to a certain degree, it becomes more like, you know, back and forth on the mic or whatever. But
yeah,
it's a good thing that Paul and Squeak ended up, you know, solving those issues there because, you know, usually in the street in the South, niggas just go nuclear.
Yeah. And they trust me, they had some of those kind of run-ins, and it just is, you know, it never. Well, some people it never got touched on that level, but they had some real bad situations. But I will say I'm very thankful that I stayed clear of a lot of the beef, and I feel like that a lot of people had enough respect for me not to put me in the beef because they knew, like Paul them knew I fucked with Squeaky them. Squeaky knew, you know what I'm saying, that I would rock. You know, did records with Paul them, Juicy J them sometimes, and they just knew I just fuck with everybody. So I'm thankful that they didn't put me in the beef because they could have put me in the beef. They could have been like, oh no, you fuck with them, so fuck you too. But they never put me in the shit. You know what I'm saying? They always looked at me as a neutral person because I guess deep down they knew, man. I never talk bad to either parties about each other. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be like on one side be like, yeah, man, I'm there, woo. I ain't speaking on that shit. And if people start speaking on it, I'm like, man, listen, man, I ain't got no problem with them folks. So, you know, I fuck with y'all, I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So I think people knew that I wasn't two-facing nobody. And I, you know what I'm saying, I let it be known. And the fact that they respected the fact that not to put me in the beef and just respected me in general as a person, you know, that played a huge part in keeping me out of a lot of the beef. Because they could have easily put me into it, but the respect was there, man. I appreciate it. And it's, you know, that's why I still will make songs like Memphis Pride years later, because it's like, man, I respect everybody. I respect y'all. I respect what everybody played in the game, man. Even the ones I might have missed, names I missed out. I respect everybody that played a part in the game, and they pretty much gave me that same respect back. And that's rare. That's very rare. I must say, that's some rare shit.
That's very rare, because, man, you look at how many times people beefed in hip-hop, they'll eventually force you to choose an alliance. So I don't know how you even made it out of that. They were like, nigga, you gonna ride with me or you gonna ride with him?
Yep. That's when you really look at it, man, and when I look back at it, I'm like, holy shit. I'm amazed that nobody put me in it, man. They never put me in it. And everybody pretty much respect me to this day. The same way they respected me then, and I'm just grateful for the respect.
Man, the best way I would have handled that, I'd probably like, okay, y'all just settle it, play a game of Madden or something. Well, settle it in the game of Madden. That's the best way you can put it, because Madden can be stress reliever.
Man, hey, I wish it was that simple, man. Trust me, man. I had on everything. I had talks with some of them. Like, man, listen, man, woo, woo, woo. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, y'all need to cut this shit out, man. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? At some point, they were like, man, everybody at peace, man. He just want to make peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we ain't got to be like this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because on everything, man, I just know my history. I know my history as a black male in America. And, you know what I'm saying, when I see the beef and shit like that, it just made me think about, damn, man, look what the fuck we came out of. How the fuck we still fighting each other? Like, it's not progressing us. Like, we came from some fucked up shit. And at some point, we got to snap out of this shit and come together in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But hey, you can't, just because I see it don't mean everybody, other people see it.
I think the problem is now they found ways for beefing to be marketable. Like, you know how they do it through social media.
Oh, yeah.
They mistake it. They identify it as clout chasing, and that's just a new wave that cats are getting on, because they're not really interesting music wise. So they figure, okay, we're gonna go full fledged WWE.
Yep.
Pull out all the shenanigans.
Yep. That's fame. That's the fame, man. People want the fame to the point where they're willing to do shit that at one point was definitely not a respected thing to do. But it don't even matter now. It's like whatever it takes to get the fame. And you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah, man, because rap was like a jungle back then.
It ain't my era. It ain't for me to get, so I ain't trying to get it. It don't make sense to me, so I ain't trying to understand it.
Like, rap was like a jungle back then, man, especially when those beats was occurring and stuff. And a lot of beats that was happening around then, a lot of people don't know now unless you tell it. But man, niggas was getting their ass whole kicked out there, and these young dudes don't understand the ramifications, because they broadcast everything now.
Yeah, you right, man. Beef was real. You know what I'm saying? You don't start no shit with a motherfucker and think it's just gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody gonna forget about it. At least it might be like that now, but that's not how it was. Like, you don't pick a fight and think it's just gonna blow over. If you pick a fight, y'all down there gonna be enemies for life, or until somebody get hurt, or until you get old enough to realize this shit don't make no sense. But that shit don't blow away in no couple of months or no couple of years. That shit once you get in it is real. That's how we looked at shit. That's why. But I don't know how they look at it now. I guess they don't look at it like that now. Or maybe it's still a small pocket of real motherfuckers out there. No matter how young they still, stand on the ground that we used to stand on. But it's more acceptable to do this shit for fame now and act like, ain't no real consequences behind it.
Man, them beats back then used to linger like the Cold War, man. You would think it would never die.
Yeah. For real.
But see, now, these cats squash it. Oh, we tweeted, we talked. It's over in 2 days. And it's after, and I'm like, dang, you done told that man to suck your privates.
Yeah.
Now y'all cheesing. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Like, hold on, man. Like, whoa, man. I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were playing, I don't play like that. Like, shit, don't say nothing that you ain't for real about, or that you ain't willing to die about. Goddamn it, don't be saying that shit.
For real, man. I'm like, these new dudes are cut from a different cloth, I guess. I mean, do your thing, man, but I just can't drop it like that. Like, I'm gonna have to put the Madden game down. We gonna have to go hit the boxing ring.
Yeah, again, I don't understand it. So it's gonna take somebody from that generation to explain it. So I don't understand it. I don't know what's up with it. But hey, it's them.
But yeah, but going back to your music though, this also correlates with your style. Like, what are your all-time favorite horror flicks?
Man, this is the part that's gonna trip you out, man. I'm not really I don't really like horror flicks like that. Other than I used to love Friday the 13th because Freddy Krueger. He used to call motherfuckers bitches and shit when he killed them. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't used to monsters and shit cussing you out as they kill you. I thought that shit was dope as a motherfucker. Like, this motherfucker is killing you and calling you a bitch. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I was into them Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but most scary movies I didn't get into. And it kind of came from my childhood. It used to be certain church groups. I think that it was their way of trying to scare you into being scared of the devil and evil. And they used to show us, like, the most horrific shit as kids, man, that traumatized me. Like I'm not looking at no damn scary movies because that shit like demons and spirits and shit. Like, man, I don't want to look at that shit, man. I used to have nightmares about that shit when I was a kid. So I'm saying that to say that I ended up not getting into scary movies because of childhood, like Bible, devil and demon and shit type of movies that they used to show us, I guess, again, to scare us to not want to do wrong because we'll end up dying, spirits dying in eternal hell and shit. So I went into scary movies because I used to have fucked up nightmares from that shit. And it's ironic that it came from the fucking church. But movies, but people like Freddy Krueger and Child's Play, Chucky, I used to like them motherfuckers because even though it was wicked, they used to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I fuck with them scary movies. Now, outside of the scary movies, I was into shit like The Twilight Zone and the Alfred Hitchcock shit because it had this mystery about it. It was some of it was scary, but some of it was just so fucking mysterious and out of this world. It was just something cool about the shit. So that kind of that's why I liked it. I liked it, the dark sound because of shit like that. And that's what draws me.
The way they composed those sounds was so unique. Just like most oversampled horror sound is the Halloween joint.
Yep.
John Carpenter got to be sitting on $1 billion right now, man.
He should be if he ain't, because you right, that motherfucker was sampled 1 million goddamn times. But yeah, man, that was one thing that was dope about the horror flicks. They had the dopest, wicked ass sounds and shit that it was, and those sounds were hypnotic. You know what I'm saying? So we just got into it to a point where we were like, shit, we gonna make songs that have those sounds in it and shit.
And it was also a good case of where a lot of labels couldn't even really discover them because the way 3 6 used to use those samples, they disguised them real well. Like, they used to sample stuff from late night infomercials and shit.
Yep.
Because I remember the other day, and I saw like a commercial or something. I seen like it was like an instrumental that they used on one of their older tapes. I was like, yo, this sounds like something 3 6 you use. Couldn't find out. I did a little research, and there it was. I was like, damn, these diggers are straight crate diggers.
Yep, that's for real. They knew they had their ear was impeccable, Paul and Juicy, they had the ear to pick some shit, and once they knew then that was one thing that I think I would say that they probably realized before a lot of the other artists realized. Gangsta Pat probably realized it too, but 3-6 really understood branding once they came up with their name and decided to really go in that direction. They stuck to that brand to a T, from the sound to the message and everything. They knew the branding, so they had the ear for what they. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they probably could have heard it on the infomercial. The infomercial probably ain't thought shit about it. It probably was like a little 8-bar loop and went into some other shit. But they probably was like, oh shit, that 8-bar loop, get that motherfucker right there.
And it was so hard to do back then because there was no YouTube at the time. Like, you had to pretty much use like a tape recorder and hope you could get it again.
Yep. You ain't lying. So again, hats off to them for having impeccable ears and you know what I'm saying, they business savvy that's unrivaled.
Now, another question I want to shoot you, and this is not music related, but I don't know if you follow any sports or anything, but what do you think the Grizzlies are going to do this coming year?
All I can say is I hope they did better than last year. I would say that. That's not as deep as I can get. Honestly, I'm not really deep into sports because coming up in music, I was just so engulfed in making music and shit that I ain't have time to keep. At least I know there's a lot of artists that's into sports, but myself, I was so into the music that I didn't have enough time to focus on sports. I was into boxing like heavy at one point, and I kind of fell out, but that was probably the only sport that had me like super captivated, boxing and then the UFC.
Yeah, man, because it's looking kind of bad for us in the Carolinas. I don't know what the hell Jordan doing. We ain't had a winning season in years.
Damn.
We ain't won shit in years.
So, Jordan still he's still a team owner?
Yeah. I think Mike just like that spot. He don't really care about improving the team. He just like that post position. He figured that's his way to stay and keep it in that billion bracket. He hustling right now.
Damn. Dude, I forgot that Jordan was. I forgot until you just brought it up. That's how much, like, y'all there, so I guess y'all pay attention to it more, and sports fans probably pay attention. But, like, the average person don't even think about that Jordan, you know what I'm saying, is an owner.
Man, Jordan still, he finessing them dudes, man. He's like, I'm Michael Jordan. Y'all can't talk shit to me. And that's how he's been getting over. Like, what can you say? That's Michael Jordan.
Hey, what the fuck can you say? You ain't lying. Like, that's
exactly. Anybody that kind of try to come in the office, they try to talk to Jordan like, nah, that's Michael Jordan. You can't say nothing.
What? His name alone makes people at least pay attention to what the fuck we gonna say.
But yeah, I thought I had to shoot that unrelated music question out there. You know, to break up the vibe a little bit. So tell us, do you have anything coming for 2019?
Man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I've been making music, writing songs and recording songs the whole time. So I got like a back catalog of this shit that I'm sitting on, and I guess I just kind of just if we want to jump off the music again, the reason why I haven't been just dropping shit, even though I still record shit, because I got into tech like around 2011. I got into tech like real heavy, so I'm into like that. Though into a lot of folks don't realize I'm into a lot of IT type shit that has nothing to do with music at all. I'm just into that shit because I think I was always into technology, even before the computer age. But yeah, that's one of the things that I enjoy. Like some people, like you said, enjoy sports. I enjoy tech shit, so that's my other thing. And I've been able to hustle in that little game, whereas I don't have to I can pick and choose what I do with the music. I say it like that. Even though I still record, like I got songs with Gangsta Pat, I got songs with Spanish Fly, I got like some legendary records that, you know what I'm saying, at some point I'm gonna drop. I just feel out the energy of and the climate, and be like, okay, shit, let me see. It might be a good time to drop this now. And then, you know, you got to have the right, especially as an independent, since I've been independent pretty much my whole career. When you're an independent, when you drop something, you got to have some kind of campaign to go with it. Like, some people just throw shit out there and wonder why ain't nobody ever heard of it ever in life, because they ain't put nothing behind it. So I'm always thinking about marketing strategies and timing. So even though I'm recording shit and I got shit that I know people would love to hear, I'm always looking at the marketing and the timing and the campaign that you can put behind it, even as an independent. So that being said, I got some shit coming. I don't know I can't say exactly when this shit gonna drop. It's just like I randomly dropped the goddamn Jason Mask EP last October. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just all in timing and when I think I'm ready to make a move. But I will say this: when I do drop something, it's gonna be some good shit.
And I like the fact that you're taking music as a fun aspect, because when it feels like a job, you don't really enjoy it.
That's what took me out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me decide to go into a whole different world. And I chose tech because it was something I liked. But that's what made me do it, because the music business, I had got into the music business because I had did Hustle and Flow. I had did music in Cadillac Records, and, you know what I'm saying, did like other records with artists and labels and shit was calling me, wanted me to, you know what I'm saying, do writing and shit for them. But the way they were doing it was so mechanical. It was like, this shit ain't fun. It's like you gonna put me in a room with other writers and you play a beat and we got to come up with something. Then you play another beat. Like, man, that ain't how being creative is. Just being inspired to do something. You're not just doing it just because you just like a fucking assembly line. So that type of shit turned me off, and some levels of the business turned me off, because like, man, folks don't want to pay you right, or you can't get, at some point you start out, it's harder to get decent contracts and shit, and certain politics was played. And so saying all that, the business side of the music business had turned me off to the point where, like, man, I'm going to do something else where I don't have to depend on the business side. And then I started falling back in love with being a fan of the music again when I didn't have to depend on it no more. And it became fun again. That's when I started back creating music again, because it went back to the roots of why I got into it in the first place. And it was because I enjoyed being a part of something that was dope, and it was fun. It was creative and it was fun. It wasn't strictly the business that I had kind of got absorbed in. So yeah, I kept that to this day now. If I'm gonna do it, it's because I enjoy it. That's why I got records that's sitting on hard drives and shit. I recorded it, had a mix and mastered and shit, but I did it for the art of it because I enjoyed doing it. Now I know when it's time to do business with it, then that's a whole nother animal, and I had to do it I got to do it according to my terms. And if I can do it according to my terms, then I'm cool with it. But I'm not going to get consumed by the business again that make me not enjoy something that I love.
Yeah, man, business just kills it kills any form of creativity, because now it's basically you're putting a price tag on your craft in a way. Like you got to use this to sell. You got to use this to market this sort of audience. I mean, I understand that's part of the game, but
you want to get paid for what you want to get paid for what you do, but you don't want that to be in front of the creative and fun process. Unless you don't really love it like that, because some people don't love You know, it's like it was certain people that got into the music business, like from the dope game. They got into it, and there's certain artists that have spoke on this. They got into it because it was just a mean to hustle. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get into it for the love of the music or the love of hip hop. I got into it, and a lot of artists like me got into it for the love of hip hop. Some people got into it just because, man, that's a way to hustle some money. And you know what I'm saying? And a lot of those guys thrive because of that. Because they ain't tripping about the art form of it. They, you know what I'm saying, it's a hustle. I love the art form of it, so for me to hustle the art form, I got at least make sure the art form, I had fun doing the art form, and when it's time to hustle it, okay, I can do it now because I can separate it. But if I'm trying to hustle the art form and I'm not having fun with it, like what's from my point of view, it's like what the fuck is the point? I'm not enjoying this shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to enjoy this. This is the love that I got from it in the beginning. No matter if I got $5 in my damn pocket, it was a many birthdays, man. My mama always knew when my birthday came up, just give me a chocolate cake and give me enough money to buy the latest hip hop tape. I was happy as a motherfucker. So it's all about your happiness, man. It's all about your happiness, man. If hustling and the money aspect if that's what drives your happiness, then hey, good for you. But if other things outside of monetary value drive your happiness, you know what I'm saying? We all got to eat, we all got to pay our bills. But, you know what I'm saying, how can you do that and keep your happiness? And that's where I am, you know what I'm saying? That's where I've been for a long time. Like, as long as I can keep my happiness, I'm cool with the hustle too. But I can't let the hustle drown out my happiness because it's like, what's the point of the fucking hustle if I can't be happy?
That's real talk, man. And do you have any advice that you want to give to anybody that's choosing to pursue a career in this music business? Like, you have any game you want to give them?
Man, the same game I just got through saying. Man, if you're going to do it, if you got love for it, you know what I'm saying, do it for the love and figure out how to monetize it, but don't let the monetizing part of it drown out the love for it because it's going to affect your art if you really got true love for it. Now, if you're just a hustler and you ain't got no love for it, then that's a different story. But if you really got love for your art and what you do as an artist, you can't let the business drown out your love because if it does, your art will be affected. And if your art is affected, then, you know what I'm saying, it's a part of you that's being affected. And again, what's the fucking point of doing the shit if you're going to lose something that didn't even cost you shit? It don't cost you nothing to be creative, you know, unless, you know, whatever money you want to invest in. But just the fact that the desire to be creative don't cost you shit. And if money and certain levels of fortune is gonna kill something that didn't cost you nothing, like that made you happy. Okay, now you got the money and you unhappy. What the fuck is the point?
Exactly. It's like you reach the mountaintop and that hunger ain't there no more. So you figure like, how can you outdo yourself? I think that's where a lot of people go through that. That's where that main challenge a lot of people go through when they reach that mountaintop and that paper go start flowing real good. It's like the creative desire kind of dies off a little bit. You see that within anything. Like you can see that with athletes. Like as soon as they get the ring, they ain't hungry no more. Like, you know, you getting steaks every day for dinner.
But you know what? But the crazy part is when you let that kill your creativity, eventually that the money gonna run out. You know what I'm saying? That shit gonna run out because whatever that hunger and desire that you had is not gonna be there, and that's what's bringing you the money in the first place. And if you ain't got that no more, that money that you got is gonna fucking go away. You know what I'm saying? And then that's a lot of people end up lost because they don't know what the fuck. They don't even know what's going on at that point. Like, fuck, I don't have the desire to do what I used to do, but you know, now I done lost all this fucking money I made. I got all this stress and these bills and shit just done went haywire. A lot of people end up fucking lost, and it ain't worth it. But you know, when you going through it, and when you on that journey, you don't see it. And you know what I'm saying? Unless you got a few people around you to keep you grounded, you can eventually become lost. And like you said, they can apply to music, they can apply to sports, they can apply to being an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be. You can become fucking lost for years. I bet you there's some bums on the street right now. There's some bums on the street right now holding up signs. I guarantee you, not all of them, but I guarantee you there's a few of them out there that probably used to be to have plenty of money. But something happened, they got lost, and they lost. You know what I'm saying? They really lost. Mind, body, and soul. It ain't worth it. That's all I'm saying. Do what you love. Love what you do, and figure out how to, you know, eat off of it. But don't let the business kill your creativity. That's what I would say. And if you're able to do what you love, and make a certain level of money, even if you got to work another job, and you can still do what you love, and you find love in that, you find peace in that, you find a sense of fulfillment in that, man, that dude, people pay for that. People will pay for that. There's people out there that's making bukus of money that don't have no sense of fulfillment and don't, you know what I'm saying, they ain't got no connection with people and shit like that. The shit that money can't buy, that we don't even realize how valuable it is because we want the things. We want the shiny things. Man, all I would say is, like, be thankful for those things that you have that you don't even have to pay for, that makes you happy. And I know there's probably some deep philosophizing shit, but I don't know how to make somebody connect with it. But if you hear me and you feel me in some kind of way, you'll feel me. If you don't, one day you will. Hopefully it don't be after you lost.
Yeah, the game will find ways to humble you. It really would.
Yes, sir.
It'd be a sad sight because even when you see a lot of these guys that had hits on the charts, and you see them in the club again, they be looking all lost. You like, dang, this dude was the man back in like 2008. And 2019, he walking through a sea of people. They don't even recognize this dude. Even the bouncer like, yo, throw this dude out of here. We don't know him. Like, man.
Hey, they got lost. Got lost in the fame, got lost in the hype. You know what I'm saying? Got lost in, you know what I'm saying? You have to be careful not to lose yourself in this game, man. Because this game, if you start to get any kind of fame, you can lose yourself. Some people can lose themselves if they don't get fame because they so consumed with the fact that they didn't make it that they blame people and they angry and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't let none of this, whether you make it or don't make it, you can't let it. You can't lose yourself, man. You can't lose who you are and what truly makes you happy. And if there's just two people in your life that, you know what I'm saying, that you know you could be 100 with, man, just be 100 with them, and man, don't forget what life is really about. You know what I'm saying? Life is what makes you happy, man. Bottom line, what makes you, as long as it's not harming anybody else, if it makes you happy, man, that's what life is all about. And doing what you love. And hopefully making some money off of it, but don't let the money kill what makes you happy. That's what I say it like that.
No steps, man. I mean, we about to wrap this thing up shortly, man. This 2 hours went by quick.
God damn, it's been that long? Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, wow. The time just went by because we had a great correlation of flow and chopping it up about the history and indulging in a lot of things. It just go by quick.
Great conversation, man. Great conversation. They said, time flies when you're having fun.
Janet never lied.
Hey, man, anybody that's listening, man, go check me out at alkaponememphis.com. I know you're going to ask this question, so I might as well go speak on it right now, man, while we got a little time left. Check me out at alkaponememphis.com. That's Capone with a K, ALKAPONEMEMPHIS, alkaponememphis.com. You get to my social media from there. You can check out certain videos on there. If somebody want to book me for anything, look at booking information. Anything you need, alkaponememphis.com. You can come with me, see what I got going on, see what's happening. Some of the old shit, I try to keep like old footage and shit like that you catch some shit from the early 90s and on up to from the 90s and through history of time. You can see what's going on or what happened with Al Kapone and the Memphis music scene and all that shit. alkaponememphis.com. Go there. Man, when you hear about the next show, come check me out, man. Support me however way you can. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you for reaching out to me, man.
Man, it's no problem, man. I mean, we just wanted to put the babies on to the pioneers.
Man, and we have to do it, man. Shout out to the babies.
Because the babies give motivation.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah, man, we appreciate you joining us, man. We're going to have the replay of the show up possibly this Sunday or Monday on YouTube. So everybody subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to definitely keep in touch with you, brother. Like,
yes,
who knows, you have any artists that you want to reach to, give us the hookup. We can interview them there. Keeping that bridge going.
Say no more, man. Say no more, man. Anything that I can do, man, is all love. And, again, appreciate y'all. And salute, man. It's Al Kapone, Al Capone. Oh, boy.
You heard it right there. This is King Ed the Great signing out. Want to send a big shout-out to my co-host in spirit, T-Max with the facts out there, chopping it up with Jeezy's people, L.R. the Sandman, Candace Cooper. We out there. Big shout-out to the M-Town. Big shout-out to Al Kapone for chopping it up with us. And we out of here.